Welcome to the Cayman's Island podcast, where we talk all things San Francisco 49ers. I'm your host, David Cayman. And in today's show, we will be previewing the Chicago Bears at the San Francisco 49ers. It's an 8:20 Eastern start, Sunday night football at Levi Stadium. Huge game, huge matchup. Very excited to get into my analysis, preview predictions, all that good stuff. But first, guys, I just want to say that I pray everyone had a blessed Christmas. I hope that Santa Claus got you guys everything you wanted and more this particular holiday season. I also wanted to take a moment to give the wife a shout out, man. The wife got me something for Christmas that I'm going to be honest, I didn't even really know that stuff like this was made, but she got me a customized 49ers football book here, and it's got stats, history, all in news article format. And it's the cool thing about it is customized like through my fanhood. If you look in here, you're going to see all these different things about my fanhood as a 49ers fan. And just judging from how many years I've been a 49ers fan makes me feel old. Maybe I am old, bless my heart. It's really neat to give all these different things during various 49ers games and eras in 49ers history in newspaper format. But like I said, I just wanted to give a shout out to the wife, man. That's a really cool, unique gift. Like I said, it's something I've never received before. And just want to say, Becca, you're the real MVP. Appreciate you. And like I said, I hope everybody else had a Merry Christmas. All right, let's get into this thing. Bears at the San Francisco 49ers. Like I said, a huge matchup, man. Both teams coming in here 11-4. The stakes couldn't be higher, in my opinion. If NFC-wise, probably the biggest game of the year. Everyone knows that if the Niners win out, they will have home field throughout the entirety of the playoffs, including the Super Bowl. The Bears are a young, up-and-coming team. You've got Ben Johnson, that's considered an offensive mastermind, versus another mastermind of offense in Kyle Shanahan. And the winner of this game has a lot going on for them. If the Niners win, this means that one more win at home, rivalry jerseys being worn against a rival Seahawks team. For all the marbles, first place, division crown, it's going to be epic, right? It would set up everything. But what I would say is that the 49ers have done an absolute outstanding job with taking one game at a time. They're not focused on Seattle. They're focused on the Bears, right? So let's talk about this. The Bears are coming off an emotional, big-time win of their own. Some would say it took an absolute miracle for them to get an onside kick to even come back and beat, for the most part, a backup quarterback, because Jordan Love got injured really early on in that game, got knocked out, and Malik Willis came in there, was really being super effective with his legs and with his arm. And it took the Bears getting an onside kick, an excellent throw. I don't want to take anything away from the throw from Caleb Williams to ultimately win that game in overtime. That's the type of thing that can propel a young team to great success. So I'm not discounting what the Bears have done whatsoever. Now, on the other hand, the 49ers are riding high off of their own primetime win against the Colts. I call it the Old Man Rivers Bowl because everyone, whether we like it or not, was rooting for that man to have success. And what I appreciate is that Philip was able to have some success, really have some moments for everyone to talk about and appreciate. A guy that's 44 years old, a grandfather, being able to come out there and have some success. After he threw that first touchdown pass, it like flashed off to his high school students, celebrating and cheering, and that's all good and grand, but this is a Niners channel. I'm a Niners fan. It's all about the Niners, where, let's just call it what it is. Offensively, the 49ers put up monstrous numbers. Brock Purdy had a career day, career game, 5 touchdowns, nearly 300 yards, just essentially doing whatever he wanted on offense. He's been masterful on third down since the time he's come back. He's undefeated since the time he's come back. And one thing that I want to highlight specifically, and I talked about this in my last show, that hopefully some of the Brock Purdy hate would die down. And I will say that this week, I'm not going to sit up here and say that the Brock Purdy hate is completely gone, but several folks that I watched, several commentators had to give this man his flowers for the performance that he put on. It's really hard to hate on a guy that throws 5 touchdowns, does things that haven't been done in a Niners jersey for decades, right? It's hard to discount somebody throwing 5 touchdowns on any team, any defense, regardless of circumstances. Had to give this man his flowers. He absolutely balled out. And one thing that I think has got to put one specific point of hate to rest is something that Kyle Shanahan said in his early week presser. This is the presser where Kyle gives the media updates on injuries. Just basically, Kyle advised that Ricky Pearsall was going to be limited this week in practice. Kittle would not practice, but he has a chance. And one thing that he said that was really eyebrow-raising to me, because he contradicted himself in one point. He said that he likes to ride the hot hand. If someone is doing very well, he doesn't want to pull that person out of the game or switch anything up, which, if you think about Brock Purdy and Mac Jones, that's essentially what Kyle did. Mac Jones was playing with some really good football, doing really well, honestly carried us during the time that Brock Purdy was out and has helped and assisted put us in the situation that we're in now. But as soon as Brock was healthy, completely and ready to go, Kyle snatched him right out of there. And I think that speaks volumes that Kyle Shanahan, the offensive guru that he is, there was a lot of talk about how the 49ers wanted to draft Mac Jones possibly instead of Trey Lance. So you finally got the skill set of the guy that supposedly Kyle wanted in the first place, yanking that guy after being successful to put into Brock Purdy. Last offseason, man, I heard a lot of noise out there about maybe Kyle really didn't want Brock. It's just that Brock flashed on the scene and had such a good year. It forced Kyle's hand, this, that, and all this other shenanigans. And it's in the biggest moments right now in the middle of the season, Kyle said himself, he likes to stick with the hot hand. This must mean that Kyle feels that Brock is that good, that Brock opens up the offense so much that the moment he can put Brock back in, he put Brock back in. And at this point, guys, if you have eyeballs and you've been watching the Niners at all, you can clearly see the space, the dimensions, the caliber of offense we're playing and how much more it's opened up. You got a similar sample size to Mac Jones, and I want to be clear. Mac did great. Mac made some throws. Mac made some plays. But I think we would all agree, just passing the eye test, that this offense is more dynamic with Brock at the helm. Brock threw technically 6 touchdown passes last game, guys. That rollout, hitting Tungus in the corner and Tungus keeping his feet in, that play should have been challenged. I think Kyle definitely knows and alluded to and admitted to the fact that his challenge game, if there's an area that's going to keep him out of Coach of the Year, if the Niners run the table and we're sitting up here with this amount of injuries, sitting with the number 1 seed in the NFC, if there was something that was going to keep Kyle out of getting Coach of the Year, is going to be his challenge game. Kyle, I need you to step your challenge game up a bit. But you got to put that to bed. If you put 2 and 2 together based on the words that came out of the man's mouth himself, Brock must be that guy for Kyle. And in any types of conversations about Kyle feeling forced and all this stuff to give Brock a contract, I think we have to put that stuff to bed, man. I think it's really about Brock putting some consistent games. Like, if he comes out here this Sunday night and throws 3 touchdowns, 250 yards, no turnovers, and we win the game, this stuff is good. There's more and more of this noise needs to quiet down. That's all I'm saying. Brock's a good quarterback. Okay, Brock is a very good quarterback, and the man deserves his flowers. About this matchup, okay, so like I said before, you got Kyle Shanahan, Ben Johnson, offensive mind versus offensive mind. You have the 49ers offense averaging around 26 points a game. That's top 10 in the NFL. They have a top 5 passing attack. Since Brock has come back these last 5 games, the 49ers lead the league in points, averaging just a hair over 34 points a game. The Bears' offense, nothing to laugh at, okay? They're averaging nearly 26 points per game themselves. They have an elite rushing attack. They average about 151 yards a game. They are a very good, very well-coached offense. But we've seen that when the 49ers on defense, guys, lock in to shutting down a part of a team's offense, it's been effective. Case in point last week against the Indianapolis Colts. I think we would all agree that what the Niners were able to do on defense against Jonathan Taylor and the Colts run game was quite impressive. Jonathan Taylor can run the ball. He is that guy. And we stonewalled him there. I know we had some holes and some gaps in that secondary with Phillip Rivers being able to pass, but if the game plan was to force Phillip Rivers to beat them through the air, set point game match, right? That was accomplished. And we've shown this season that in the biggest moments of the game, a critical 4th down stop or a key blitz to force an errant pass on a 3rd down, the Niners have come up time and time again, regardless of what team they've played, okay? Even when the Niners were getting the doors blown off them against the Rams, they were able to lock in and focus enough to where we at least came back a bit and made that game be a game, even though in reality, it should have probably been a similar blowout to what the Niners did to the Colts. And I feel confident the 49ers can contain the Bears' run game enough to force them into some uncomfortable situations. I know that we struggle. In the Shanahan era, we've struggled against quarterbacks that can run to those edges, man, and make plays with their feet. I just think Robert Saleh has proven this season that in the critical moments, we can make that one play to make the difference, to give the Niners a win. The 49ers defense is allowing 21 points per game. They are a top 10 rush defense. The pass defense hasn't been elite. There are some areas that they need to tighten up. But one thing I want to say, it's hard, man, when you don't have any type of consistent pass rush to be able to hold up on the back end for any extended period of time. The Bears defense, on the other hand, is allowing about 23, 24 points per game. They're in the middle to the lower tier in total yards allowed. They're an opportunistic defense, okay? They are always really aggressive, getting to the ball, just aggressive, period, forcing takeaways. The amount of takeaways that they have this season, I believe they have 16 interceptions. Man, the Niners have 16 sacks. That speaks for itself. They're opportunistic, and they give extra possessions to the Bears offense. So I feel like the formula for success in this game for the Niners is very simple. Possess the ball. Don't turn the ball over, and make the Bears offense beat you. If they're driving down the field 12, 14, 16 play drives, hey, we lose the game that way, shake their hand. Absolutely give them props, give them credit, but don't sit here and have 3, 4 turnovers and just give them easy possessions. As you can see, the whole team feasts on those scenarios. If you give them any small window whatsoever, they feel like they can do anything with the football. So we have to make sure that we possess the ball. A punt is not a bad thing, which I'm wondering if the Niners even know what that is. I just feel like the consistency right now, the offense is cooking. I never thought I would say this, especially this season, but if George doesn't play, I know we'll take a hit in the blocking game and the run game. Just the way Brock's playing right now, as long as he's not getting sacked, I really don't think it matters. He's going to go out there, he's going to find the open man and make the smart play and make the smart decision. He's just that on fire right now. And from what I've seen from the Bears defense, they can be got. I really feel that way. From an injury standpoint, it does appear that Ricky Pearsall should be able to get back out there this week. I think that's a big dynamic piece with his speed to help stretch the field and open up the field for a Jake Tonjes, right? For a Jawan Jennings over the middle. I'd really like to see, I actually saw Jordan Watkins on the field a few times last week. I'd love to see the man get his number called. I'd love to run a little swing pass to that guy out in the flat, man, on a wide out screen or something to give that man an opportunity to flash what I saw him flash in the SEC all of last season. And I know that George Kittle's dealing with the ankle. I really feel like he's going to be a game time decision. I'm not certain how much they'll even use him, if he even is able to get out there and go. But just his presence on the field, I think, is a matchup nightmare. Similar to CMC out of the backfield. There's just not a linebacker that matches up with that guy. And it was on full display on Monday Night Football, what CMC was able to do in the pass game. I know there's been a lot of talk about, is Kyle going to try to force the ball to CMC to try to get him this magical 150-plus yards to break a record? I think Christian McCaffrey would tell you himself, if he gets 0 yards passing and the Niners win the game, he would sign off on that. Predictions-wise, score-wise, it's really about who I trust more. I trust the Niners. This is a team that has played in big games. The core of this team has played in Super Bowls, playoff games, primetime games, high-pressure moments. Brock has been on the biggest of stages. This is not his first rodeo, and I feel like early in the game, who would fold quicker? Like Brock throwing a first-quarter pick? I think he could recover from that just fine. Caleb Williams, on the other hand, a big mistake early on. Can he do it? He's got some of the best arm talent in the league. The guy's got the tools, the speed, the smart. He has it all. It's just we haven't seen it a lot from him yet. This is the first time we've seen the Bears be this successful in quite a long time. So we really have to just see it. Maybe it'll be a prove-it game for both of them. I've seen a lot of folks have a lot of conversations about who is this more important for? Is this a bigger moment for the 49ers, or is this a bigger moment for the Bears? Personally, I feel like it's a big game. Both teams need this game, but as far as pressure in the moment, Brock Purdy's been to a Super Bowl. He's had to play arguably the greatest quarterback of all time in a Super Bowl in overtime. Can you get much more pressure than that? To a lot of these players on the Niners, man, this is a big-time regular season game, but this is, you could say up to this point, this is Caleb Williams' Super Bowl. So who do I trust more in a moment? I absolutely trust the 49ers. Experience matters, and the Niners definitely have it. Overall team quality, I think the 49ers are simply a better all-around team. The Niners haven't had to rely on anything like last-second miracles, broken plays, pure chaos to win games. When the Niners win, they usually win by controlling the game, and that matters in a primetime matchup like this. I have the 49ers guys winning this game 31-27, but I want to give a little context. I feel like it's going to be 31-27, but with the Niners in control toward the end of the game. I could see maybe the Bears coming back, scoring a later touchdown to make it look closer than it was. But I'm going with the experience on this one in the biggest moments. As long as the Niners don't get turnover happy, we control the pace of the game. The special teams have been great special teams all year long. I don't see that just randomly unraveling. In fact, that could be an X factor in a game, especially if it's close. And a lot of people feel 31-27. I'm saying that's a shootout. Both teams, the Niners are giving up 21 a game. Bears giving up 26 a game. I'm saying it's 31-27. To me, that's average. I really don't see that being like a super high scoring game. We've seen the Niners put up a 48 burger last week. Okay. That, to me, that's high scoring. So I just think that the Niners are going to outscore the Bears, make more plays in this one. And tell me what you guys think in the chat. What do you think are the X factors to this game? What do you see being the keys to this game? I do want to take an opportunity to thank everybody, man, for subscribing and watching. Truly appreciate the support. It means the world to me. One of my favorite passions is getting on here with you guys and talking 49ers football. Make sure you like and subscribe. Even share the podcast with the other Niners fans that you know. But that's going to do it today for today's show, today's episode. Until next time, guys, take care, be blessed. Go Niners.